Good morning, good morning. Have a content. Good morning, good morning. Pull up on the YouTube. Good morning, good morning. Come on in. Bring your coffee, bring your tea. Come on in, come on in. It's Friday. Happy Friday, guys. Thank you guys for stopping by and all of that greatness when it comes to Friday, Friday, Friday. When it comes to Friday, guys, we have a content or two to unpack rather. So I said, let me come early in the morning to come on and pack this content with you guys quickly and fast. Now, guys, sometimes you guys will see me around this time. Sometimes you guys will see me earlier and all of that. But nevertheless, guys, let's unpack this content and other things that we want to talk about greatly and gravely, okay? Guys, we know that a lot of things are happening in the world. And we know that a lot of times some people get caught and some people don't get caught, right? But this is an actor that's out here played lots of role and stuff and get caught up in sexual assault, guys. So I'm not here to unpack the story greatly and detailed, okay? So I'm going to read from my best of my ability. So let's unpack the story quickly and fast, all right? As of January 21st, 2026, actor and director TImonthy Busfield will be released from New Mexico jail while awaiting trial in a sex abuse case judge has ruled. The Emmy-winning actor who surrendered to local authority last week is accused of sexually abusing two boys on a set of TV series he's directed and produced. Busfield, 68, has denied allegation. Prosecutor has sought his detention, arguing there were a pattern of inappropriate behavior that accumulated on the set of Cleaning Lady and the series filmed in New Mexico. Busfield's wife, actress Melissa Gilbert, was present in court on Tuesday and broke into tears as the judge delivered the ruling. Judge David A. Murphy authorized Busfield's release on the actor's own recordings, okay? And without bail, with the requirement to appear to all future court dates, all right? When since somebody charged with sexual assault and they're allowed to be released on their own? When since? The West Wing actor's defense team submitted more than 70 letters from people vouching for his character and said that he underwent and passed a polygraph test pertaining to the allegation against him, all right? He also underwent, a psychosexual risk assessment, which the prosecutor took issue with and asked for a limit weight to be given to the polygraph. It doesn't matter who is attracted to, okay? It doesn't matter who he's attracted to, all right? Good morning. Hi. Good morning. Thank you for stopping by. Good morning, one person. Good morning. Thank you for stopping by. Okay. Happy Friday to you and your family. Well, happy Friday. If today's your free day, or even happy Friday if you're at work or you're coming from work or going to work, or if you're going to your business or you're doing anything productive today. Happy Friday. All right. Just running in not too long. Ready to just unpack a content because sometimes I come and sometimes I don't, all right? So let's finish up this content quick and fast, all right? So let's finish up this, right? It doesn't matter who is attracted to. We know that all different type of sex offenders prey on different demographics of people. Deputy District Attorney Savannah said they don't have to be a pedophile for this to happen. In the courtroom, Busfield lawyer Amber argued against the idea that Busfield was exploiting his power because he no longer had any. He has no power. He's a persona, not grata, And that's not because he did anything wrong. That's because of the world we live in, she said. She noted that the actor had been cancelled by the state, dropped from his talent agency, and had been edited out of recent rom-com that was just about to be released. The defense lawyer said there was overwhelming evidence that the allegations were manufactured. There is a credible story here, and it's a very sad story, and there are victims, and there are still these two boys, she argued, but they weren't victimized by Tim Busfield, they were victimized by their own parents. The judge was not prohibit Busfield travel as he was not a resident of New Mexico and would need to report to the pretrial service in the state. Busfield also starred in 30-something, was ordered not to discuss the case with any of the witnesses or to have contact with any minor children in the case. In the warrant for Busfield's arrest, prosecutors said the parents of the boys alleged that he groomed and sexually abused them, the youngsters, while working on the set for The Cleaning Lady. Authorities claim the boys referred to Busfield as Uncle Tim and alleged that he would tickle them on the stomach and legs. Both boys told authorities that they were touched inappropriately for years. His arrest affidavit stated. One of the boys alleged that Busfield touched him in his private areas. According to the court documents, the boy told authorities that he alleged inappropriate touching started when he was 7 years old, and he was scared to speak out because he feared that Busfield would get mad at him. Busfield, who is also known for his role at the baseball film Field Dreams and the comedy thriller Revenge of Nerds, volunteered surrender to the New Mexico authorities last week after a warrant was issued for his arrest. He was taken into custody on 2 counts of criminal sexual contact of a minor and 1 count of child abuse that police allege in the set of the Fox crime drama, The Cleaning Lady. His other lawyer, Larry Stain, said the actor was being accused as an act of revenge after the children had been terminated from the series, which angered their mother. A trial date has not yet been set. All right, guys? So that's the short end of the story. All right. I am also, guys, he was released. Okay. He was also released. It's the first sexual assault case I see that the person get released so fast. Sometimes when you're so privileged, the courthouse can't even hold you, right? But nevertheless, guys, from there, let's pull up on the next part of the story. Quite so. 1 second. 1 second, guys. 1 second. Now, they claim that this man has been living 2 lives, yes? One touching children, allegedly, and one in the acting role, okay? Allegedly. I would say allegedly because everybody's innocent until they go to court, yes? So now let's face back. Let's go to the release. Now, judge orders release of actor TImonthy Busfield pending child sex abuse case, right? Remember, I said they were going to release him. A judge has ordered that the actor TImonthy Busfield released from jail during a detention hearing on child sex abuse charges. The order Tuesday by State District Court Judge David Murphy is linked to an accusation that Busfield inappropriately touching a minor while working on a set of a series Cleaning Lady. The judge ordered that the defendant release, okay, on his own, pending trial. Busfield will be supervised upon release by a pretrial service, okay, and can leave the state to live at home. I never heard nothing like that when you're privileged. And can leave the state, guys, to live at home, the judge says. Very privileged. Busfield, an Emmy Award-winning actor who's known for appearance in The West Wing, Field of Dreams, 30-something, was ordered to hell without bond last week. At the first court appearance, Busfield called the allegation lies in a video shared before he turned himself in. At the hearing on Tuesday, Busfield was handcuffed and dressed in an orange jail uniform at the hearing in New Mexico State District Court, while wife actor Melissa Gilbert watched from the court gallery. Gilbert was tearful while exiting the courtroom after the judge ordered Busfield release. Gilbert, who played Laura Ingalls in 1970s, 1980s TV series The Little House on the Prairie, is on the list of the potential witness submitted of the hearing. Oh no. Police issued a warrant for Busfield arrest early this month on 2 counts of criminal sexual contact of minor and 1 count of child abuse, and criminal complaint alleged the act occurred on set of the series, The Cleaning Lady. According to the criminal complaint, and the investigator with the police department said the child reported Busfield touch him on the private area over his clothing on one occasion when he was 7 years old and another time when he was 8. The boy's twin brother told authorities he also touched by Busfield, did not specify, or he'd never be specific where it was. He said he didn't say anything because he didn't want to get in trouble. On Monday, Busfield attorneys submitted 2 brief audio recordings of initial police interview, which the children say Busfield did not touch them in private areas. The attorney in a court filing argued that the complaint characterizes the interviews as a failure to disclose abuse, but denial indifferent from a mere absence of disclosure. All right, guys? So this is kind of troubling and disturbing, but what can we say? According to the criminal complaint, one of the boys disclosed during the therapy session that he was inappropriately touched by the show director. Those records were obtained by police during the investigation. Arguing Tuesday for Busfield continued detention, Assistant District Attorney Savannah called evidence of abuse against Busfield strong and specific. The boys' allegations were supported by medical findings by their therapists. Their accounts were specific and not exaggerated. She also described a documented pattern of sexual misconduct, abuse by authority, and grooming behavior by Busfield over the past 3 decades. The prosecutor also witnessed have impressed fear regarding retaliation and professional harm. GP is not going to tell the court if he is around children or taking witness. Okay? So right now, guys, they're basically saying that this man is guilty, although he haven't went to trial, or he went to trial already. Okay? Also, Busfield end up go and take a polygraph and all of this. And the legal expert says New Mexico is among few states that allow polygraph evidence in criminal cases. But a judge has final say over whether one can be used. Okay? And stuff like that. Not only that, Busfield attorney have argued that the allegation emerged only after the boys lost their role in the TV show, creating a financially motive. The filings detail that the attorney said was a history of fraud by the both boys' father and mother. They cited in the investigation by Warner Bros. Into the allegation that found the allegation unfounded. All right? So not only that, they're wondering if this man should take a polygraph. And when it comes to New Mexico, they don't really deal with all of that. All right, people? So that was the case of Busfield. What is so disturbing that Busfield was allowed to go back home, and Busfield was allowed to be bailed on his own he was released. Okay? He never need anyone to bail him. He was released on his own. So he was very privileged to me, the way I see it. But nevertheless, guys, let's get to the audio and let you guys hear how much a predator allegedly this man is. All right? Because I have to say allegedly on my part. Okay, guys? So we're going to get into that. And so let's talk about when he was charged and then when he turned himself in. Okay? Give me a second.
New details.
1 second. So he was charged and he basically turned himself in and all of that. So let's get to that. Okay?
Breaking news out of New Mexico. NBC News has learned that Emmy-winning actor TImonthy Busfield has turned himself in to authorities. His surrender comes just days after a warrant was issued for his arrest by the Albuquerque Police Department. The 68-year-old actor, who is married to TV star Melissa Gilbert, is accused of child abuse and sexual contact of a minor. The allegations stem from his time on Fox's The Cleaning Lady, a TV crime drama series Busfield directed and acted in. It ran for 4 seasons, ending this past June. NBC News entertainment correspondent Chloe Malas has been following this story for us. And Chloe, I know things are still unfolding right now, but what do we know about him turning himself in?
That's right, Kate. Well, just a few moments ago, I spoke to a representative for TImonthy Busfield who says that he has presented himself to authorities. That is the language that they are using. They're not saying turning himself in, but we know that the U.S. Marshals Service was helping New Mexico authorities try to locate him, but he did present himself in New Mexico, and now we're going to see exactly what he is going to be charged with, potentially see a mugshot this afternoon, and is he going to be able to make bail today? Will he have to wait for a first appearance hearing? Could that mean that he remains behind bars overnight? And as you said, on Friday, this explosive arrest warrant was issued for Busfield, with authorities saying in a criminal complaint that they had been investigating allegations as it pertained to two brothers on the set of Warner Brothers' The Cleaning Lady. Like you said, Busfield directed, starred in this, and that the mother of these two young boys had allegedly talked to her sons, learned that allegedly Busfield had been inappropriate with them on set, and then that's when she filed a police report. And Busfield, though, knew that this was potentially coming because there are transcripts in the criminal complaint, Kate, of himself and authorities. His wife, Melissa Gilbert, is present for some of those calls as he's talking to authorities, denying any sort of wrongdoing to authorities and saying that there was a playful nature on set, that he knew those two boys, that he directed them, but that maybe some tickling, but nothing that was sexual in nature.
And in this arrest affidavit, I think it was, there were other accusations made about Pat.
Then if these children are young kids and they call you uncle and they're not your children, why are you tickling them? Why do I want somebody to tickle my own children? So after all of these allegations that are going around in Hollywood and all of these places, you're still out here tickling people's children that are not yours, that are on set working? Oh, keep your hands to yourself maybe next time. Oh.
Events as well.
So that's another part of this here is that several years ago, Busfield was accused of having an inappropriate relationship with a teen girl.
Yep.
That case was settled.
See?
And he denied any sort of wrongdoing, and he continued to work.
So remember, he was accused back then of having a relationship with a teenager girl, a young girl, and he settled the case. Now these are two boys. So obviously he likes them on the young side, really and truly, allegedly, because if you settled the case back then what should we say about you now? Just saying, people. And he still go on to act, he still go on to direct, and he still end up out here giggling and still end up on his own bail. Can you be so privileged? I am not sure.
No criminal charges were filed. He continued to work in Hollywood and had a very successful career.
What did I say?
Like The West Wing.
Raise your hand if you know someone that don't look like him, had this kind of situation and still worked in Hollywood. So you see how privileged this man is? This man was able to settle a case, sleeping with a young girl, don't get charged, don't go to court, just settle the case really and truly, and still come out here to be the great director that they claim, and now in hot water with two boys. Let's unpack.
You know, obviously being married to Melissa Gilbert for over a decade. And Melissa Gilbert has been very public about child sex abuse, right? And very public about her stance on it and how she had some things that made her uncomfortable while she was a child star. She even wrote an essay about that earlier this last year. Now we're in 2026. But again, we have not heard from TImonthy Busfield's legal team on the record just yet. And obviously this is all unfolding in real time.
All right, and bring us more if you get it.
Okay, guys.
We thank you for watching.
So that's that. Okay, now people would say that this man, 1 second. People would say that this man, 1 second. There's an allegation out here. Let me find it for you guys. 1 second. There's an allegation out here that he's living double lives or two separate lives. So let's drop this in quick and fast, all right?
Emmy award-winning actor and director TImonthy Busfield is going to be back in front of a judge tomorrow to determine whether or not he should remain behind bars while a child sexual abuse case against him works its way through the courts. Now, busting himself over to law enforcement in Albuquerque last week, charged with 2 counts of criminal sexual contact of a minor and 1 count of child abuse. He's accused of inappropriate conduct with twin boys that he worked with on the Fox show The Cleaning investigation into Busfield's apparent behavior with the 2024, because that is when a hospital reported concerns of possible grooming, claiming that the boys referred to Busfield, who was
As
the producer
uncle.
and director of the show, as Uncle Tim,
Yep.
and said he gave them unwanted tickles. Now, this is a key part. Neither boy apparently mentioned any sexual contact at that time. So that was the end of it. That is until October 2025. What happened? That's when the boy's mother filed a report with CPS after one of the boys claimed that Busfield did, in fact, touch his privates over his clothes when he was 7 or 8, and that he didn't speak up because he didn't want to get in trouble. And according to the 13-page arrest warrant, therapist records also show that this boy was diagnosed with PTSD and anxiety. He suffered from nightmares related to the alleged abuse. But here's the other side. TImonthy Busfield, unsurprisingly, adamantly denies all the allegations against him, even filmed a video before he turned himself in, calling them horrible lies. On Friday, he submitted an opposition filing demanding his release from jail, not only painting the parents of the accusers as fraudsters with a history of legal dishonesty, but also pointing to a polygraph test that Busfield recently apparently passed.
Yep.
An independent investigation by Warner Brothers that was unable to substantiate any of the claims. A psychosexual evaluation that says he, quote, does not appear to have a sexual attraction to prepubescent or
Psychosexual
adolescent males or females.
test.
There was a
I'm
lot to
lost
unpack
and
here. It's all
dumbfounded.
about credibility. What do we make of it? My next guest, just the man for the job, Chris Hansen, made a name for himself with his work on Dateline's cultural phenomenon To Catch a Predator. He hasn't slowed down not one bit. His mission continues on Takedown with Chris Hansen, which streams on True Blue. Take a look if you haven't seen it.
I'm happy to meet you.
1 second. We're going to forward off of this.
Sit down. Huh?
Pointing to see me, Tyler. Confusing to me about this, okay? Is this, in your opinion, a classic example of the dark side of Hollywood? I mean, the allegations are horrendous. There's also these weird aspects where you wonder, what's going on here? Is this a credibility issue?
Well, there is a credibility issue, but when you look at TImonthy Busfield's past,
See it there?
there was a case in 1994.
Told
where there
you.
was a civil lawsuit filed on behalf of a 17-year-old working on the movie set where he was shooting Little Big Leagues, right, in Minneapolis. And that case ultimately led to a settlement, his team paying the girl, non-disclosure agreement, and it also led to Busfield's team suing the lawyer who represented the girl. He lost that, and they had to pay $150,000 in punitive damages to the lawyer. So this is coming from the TImonthy Busfield playbook in some ways. There's a history of alleged sexual misconduct and other...
Are you guys following? So when the girl sued him, he had to pay out the money, settle out of court, and then turn around and sue the girl's lawyer. And he end up have to pay the lawyer for punitive damages. You see how ignorant and privileged and high profile this man is? So you settle the case of sexual assault, the girl, and then you turn around and sue her lawyer, and then you end up have to pay, basically put your foot up your ass. Oh, let's continue. This is crazy.
accusations with of-age women in the Minneapolis area during the filming of this movie.
And to be clear, during these pre-trial detention hearings, right, and I believe in New Mexico, they might not even be an issue of monetary bail, but could be released. They can include a lot of different evidence.
Oh, absolutely.
You
Similar
think
actions.
he's going to be released?
I don't know, Jesse.
He was
It's
released.
tough to say because, look, when you're dealing with an investigation this sensitive involving a celebrity, a public figure, you know the threshold here. Obviously, there has to be probable cause to get the warrant. An assistant DA's got to sign off on it. It probably went to the very top of the district attorney's office. So there's got to be some evidence there that at least the district attorney's office feels is, you know, important and can be taken to trial at some point.
But it is, a lot of it's based on the accounts
Exactly.
of these two boys.
Exactly.
But there was also backing of their interviews with, let's say, a therapist. I understand that. But an independent investigation by Warner Brothers, a law firm that was hired, found no corroborating evidence. Apparently, he took a polygraph. You talk about the psychosexual evaluation. You have covered thousands of these cases. Does anything give you pause?
Well, I think if you look at the timing of this, obviously he has known at least since November that this investigation existed. There was an interview where he was on the phone claiming that, maybe there was tickling, maybe there was some things that happened. It wasn't sexual horseplaying.
Yeah.
But my question is, if you've been in the business that long,
Yep.
why are you alone with two boys?
And tickling them in the same time. Why?
does that even
Why? Exactly.
happen? You've got to know that questions can be raised
Yep.
if you're alone with a child that's not your child. So
Yep.
why not be more careful going into it? Maybe I'm reading too much into it. I don't know, but I'm suspicious.
That's what I thought too as well. With all of these allegations that are happening in Hollywood all over the place, why are you there with two boys by yourself? Okay, and why are you there tickling them like they're your children? These are the things that I'm talking about, guys. So nevertheless, people, that's the situation, that's the scenario, that's the content. Basically, actor Timothy Busfield, privilege on bail, charged for sexual assaulting two boys that are brothers. Okay, guys, on a set, okay, of cleaning lady. All right. Not only that, guys, people would think he's living a double life. Not only that, there was a case way back when that he settled and still go on to be the director and still go on to do a lot more stuff in Hollywood. So when you're privileged, you're privileged. But what can I say into that? I can't say that much. I don't know what to say, to be honest, people. But when you really think about it, he turned himself in. He did surrender to police and all of those kind of things, right, guys? And all of that. So
We're going to start off with that breaking news.
let's give it
Timothy
a
Busfield, famous for The West Wing, 30-something, and a lot of other shows, has now turned himself into authorities amid child sex abuse allegations.
Busfield surrendered to authorities in New Mexico following an arrest warrant issued Friday after two children accused him of sexual abuse. KTLA's Gene Kang joins us live in the News Center with details. Gene.
Hi, Sandra and John. Famed actor and director Timothy Busfield, who you've seen in some of your favorite shows and movies, is sitting in a New Mexico jail tonight facing child sex abuse charges. Let's look at his mugshot. Hollywood veteran, 68-year-old Timothy Busfield, known for The West Wing and Field of Dreams, turned himself in to Albuquerque police on child sex abuse charges. His attorney says he did it to clear his name. Busfield released this video to TMZ, claiming his innocence.
I'm going to confront these lies. They're horrible. They're all lies. And I did not do anything to those little boys. And I'm going to fight it.
He's facing 2 counts of criminal sexual contact of a minor and 1 count of child abuse. The allegations involve 2 child actors, ages 7 and 8, working on The Cleaning Lady between 2022 and 2024. Busfield was directing in New Mexico when the alleged incidents happened. According to the criminal complaint, one child claimed Busfield touched his private areas multiple times. The boy's parents didn't report it until 2 years later. KTLA legal expert Allison Treasel weighs in.
The real question will be, will the testimony of these minor children be enough? Because there is no physical.
So do you believe because they waited 2 years to talk about it after they lost off the set, after they're no longer acting, you think this is a setup by the parents, or you think these things really happen? Not only that, you heard from the actor Timothy Busfield on a recording, if you guys were watching this way back, that some kind of tickling went on. He tickled them, but he never touched them inappropriately. So the question becomes, why are you tickling children that don't belong to you? Once you put your hand on a child that don't belong to you, there's other allegation will come across. So you gotta be mindful how you play with people's children, how you're out here with people's children as actors, because you know there's so many allegations nowadays days out here of touching and sexual assault. So I don't feel sorry for him really greatly, because there was a case that he settled way back when. So I can't feel sorry for a man that settled a case way back when then and all of these kind of things. All right, guys? Now, yesterday I came and I spoke about a case. Let's get this case over with first. I spoke about this case in Jamaica yesterday in regards of Maitland that killed that girl when he brought the bloody couch to the car wash. It was full of blood. Then you had the truck man that brought the couch all kind of places, people. And this was a policeman been with this girl. The girl ended up dead at his apartment and all of these kind of things. And Noel, who's a police officer, right now, guys, they found him guilty. So remember yesterday I mentioned this situation and I said, guys, Noel Maitland, let me see if I could find it. Give me a second. Right here, this situation here, guys. Now we got the verdict of what's happening here. So let's go to the verdict, please, and thank you, okay?
Now let's go back to that earlier story we told you about where police constable Noel Maitland has been found guilty of the 2022 murder of his girlfriend, Donald Lee Donaldson. He was also found guilty of the unlawful burial of a corpse. We have the details from Raquel Porter.
This is a wicked man.
Victory belongs to
Bury all the
us.
late
It's the
little
moment
girl,
Sophia
bro.
Lugg, the mother
Jah
of social
know.
media personality Donna Lee Donaldson, had been waiting for. After approximately 3 hours and 36 minutes, the 7-member jury, which consisted of 4 men, unanimously found murder accused police constable Noel Maitland guilty. Donna Lee's sister and her mother, Sophia, broke down in tears in court while being comforted by Director of Public Prosecutions Claudette Thompson and an Indicom officer. Miss Lugg said she knew Maitland would have been convicted. I may never get a bone, but justice will serve. Justice will serve. And I will fight to the end, and this is not the end. Because there is a higher God, authority, who is going to deal with this in his own way. And I want to say thank you all to each and every one of you. Victory. We proclaim victory today. Thank you all. The moment the verdict was handed down, Maitland, who kept a straight face throughout the trial, was seen crying. God understands. He knows why he cries. He has been crying from day one. I don't understand why Noel Maitland did this.
Oh, God.
But God knows. The convict, who was clad in a gray suit, wiped his tears as he exited the courtroom. His attorney, Christopher Townsend, indicating his intention to appeal the verdict.
We're a bit surprised by the verdict, but it is a verdict and it is what it is. Of course, there's always a court of appeal. So, on to the next step.
He said that there's always the Court of Appeal. Is this an indication that you will be appealing the verdict?
I have a strong feeling that whichever way the verdict went, there would have been an appeal.
Why?
I don't want to say anything too much yet, but certainly we are concerned about how some of the issues were dealt with.
The prosecution, which had called 36 witnesses and described the evidence as a jigsaw puzzle with no missing pieces, said the jurors returned the correct verdict.
When there's no rejoicing, there's no happy, because Donnelly is dead.
Yeah.
Noel Maitland is to be sentenced March 13. Raquel Porter reporting for TVJ News.
Okay, guys. So that case is basically over with. Found him guilty. Even buried the girl corpse. I couldn't even tell the mom where her daughter was buried. When you see people like these, you don't have to ask if you don't see evil on them. Look at this man. Could you imagine? Bring all couch to cowards to wash with full of blood. Could you imagine? Nevertheless. So our heart and prayers goes out. Donnelly mom fought. Donnelly father end up dying. Oh my God. So much things happen in this case, people. It was troubling and disturbing for me, but what can we say? Anyways, guys, let's finish unpack the content for me to jump off of this. So they found him guilty. He's guilty of charge, and he's going to be sentencing sometime in March. Okay, guys? From there, I also want to move on to some other things. One second. Okay, so since we're here, let's get to this guy. There was a recording of his girlfriend, should be like almost a domestic abuse. TMZ always find a black man, most of the time allegedly in Hollywood, to tear down or to expose. That lawyer that you see on TMZ, I don't think he likes the black folks that much, because when it comes to some kind of black situation, he always find it out here and always out here airing it out when it doesn't concern him. So apparently, Digimon and his baby mother is fighting an intense argument, and they end up out here in the public. So this is the actor. You guys know the actor? Let's get to the voice recording, please, and thank you. Okay? Domestic abuse is never okay. Listen.
So that I can have access to the property. This is still legally my residence, and my kids are here, so I do need a set of keys to access my residence.
So he took away the keys.
Jaimin? Hello?
So you know Jaimin, you know the actor?
I'm actually having to leave now, and I won't be here later, so if you don't mind, I would need the keys. Do you give me the keys so I can access the property where I live and my kids are? There's a process. I don't have a problem moving, but you cannot lock me out of the home in which I live. Okay, so that's how you, but you just said in the text that you're changing, so how am I going to be able to access it? So how am I going to be able to access?
It's a recording,
But I'm
people.
asking you for the keys to a property in which I live at and my kids are in. So I'd like the keys to the property, please, so that I can still live here and sleep here. There's a legal process in which you have to go through. So until that process happens, you cannot deny me legally. You cannot deny me access to the property in which I'm legally still a resident at, Jaimin. Do you know that? I don't, because I'm leaving, and you just told me this morning that you're changing the
code in the garage.
Okay, and I will not be back this week. So that's what I'm saying. I will need to be able to access my residence when I come back. So let me just let you know what that's going to look like, because I don't want to embarrass the family. I don't want to embarrass the property with our neighbors. I'm going to come back. I'm not going to have access to the property. I will have to call the police. The police will ask me to prove that I'm a resident here. They will require you to give me access to the premises, and they'll tell you the due process. But I don't want to bring the police to the property. That's not a good look, and we don't need to do it. Okay, so go ahead, and if you would please give me my keys back to the resident. Listen to what I'm saying, Jaimin. I am leaving now. I'm leaving in about an hour. I will not be back for some time. So if you could give me the keys now so that we can handle this the right way.
You are one bitter.
I'm not bitter, and we're not divorced. We were never married. I'm not bitter.
But the way you've been treating me and disrespecting me.
We're not divorced. We're not divorced. We were never married. Can I please have the keys to my residence? Can I please have the keys to my residence? It's not an issue. There's no issue between us.
There's no issue. You still have access to the garage.
Listen to what I'm saying, and you're changing the garage access. I'm not going to be here this week. Can I please have my keys, and we can move on? So can I please have the keys?
You have access to the garage.
Listen to what I'm saying, Jaimin. I'm leaving this week, and I'm not going to be coming back for at least a few weeks. So I need my keys to the residence in which I live at. I don't want to have to bring the police here. That's going to be embarrassing, and it's not necessary that we even do that.
When relationship goes sour. On a big actor like this.
Huh?
I'll leave your keys on the table.
But
okay?
I'm leaving in the next hour.
Yes, it won't be problem.
And I will, but I need the keys to my residence now before I leave. This is my residence. I've been living here for 4 years. This is my residence. I've been living here for 4 years. If you would please give me the keys before you leave, so that I don't have to encumbrance you later on, and I don't have to embarrass the house.
Wearing my clothes and all that, you have some.
Wow.
Simon, I don't want to bring the police back here later. That's embarrassing.
I'll leave your keys to the table. Get the out of the place.
Now? I'm not going to be here for them later. That's what I'm telling you.
I will need you.
Listen to what I'm
You
saying.
need
What I'm saying.
I heard what you
To be here. Okay, well, I need the keys to the residence. I cannot leave my kids are here.
So what they're claiming, it's some domestic abuse or domestic violence is happening in their home, and sooner or later you're gonna hear that they bring down this big bad actor. Sooner or later you're gonna hear he's under domestic abuse and all of these things. Sooner or later you're gonna hear about it. Okay. So Digman and his baby mother tense argument over keys. All right. Now we want to go from there. We want to go to a news where a 16-year-old really used her brain and got away from this sexual assault. Okay. So let's get in there quick and fast. News. Let's go all the way to a
Details involving an alleged sexual assault.
right here.
Tell us. The suspect attacked her over the weekend. The alleged victim, a teenage girl, and she says it all started at a bus stop. Our Kelly Rule reports. 27-year-old Jonathan John behind bars tonight after Philadelphia police say a brave 16-year-old girl called them for help just before 9 p.m. Saturday at B and Rockland Streets in North Philadelphia as John was inside a convenience store. According to the victim, John offered her a ride as she was waiting for a bus on Allegheny Avenue at 2 p.m., but never took her to her destination.
Never take rides from stranger.
She must have been very, very frightened. She repeatedly asked to go to her destination, and he repeatedly denied her, threatened to pistol whip her.
Police say during that nearly 7-hour terrifying drive, John also sexually assaulted the girl. Police quickly responded after she called 911.
It just so happens that once he arrived here, the investigators noticed that he had on a very distinctive red windbreaker, which was in correlation to an earlier job we had.
Once in custody, police say they were able to pinpoint John as the suspect in an abduction earlier in the day around 10 a.m. on Cedar Street.
So he's tried that in the day already.
The 15-year-old girl said she met a man that went by John on social media, and he arranged to meet on the premise of a job opportunity and bringing her food. But instead, police say he pulled her into his car, and after driving a few blocks, she escaped when he tried to go inside a store.
Definitely concerning predatory behavior. Like I said, I'm very happy he's off the street. He's pretty much going out there on encountering these juveniles with a purpose. So my fear is that there may be additional victims.
According to online records in the district attorney's office, there are previous victims. In 2016, the DA's office says he was arrested for rape of an adult, but the charges were withdrawn.
You're there.
In 2023, he was charged with rape in a case that involved 2 victims. The case went to a jury trial, and he was found not guilty and acquitted. Then in February of 2025, court documents say a victim told investigators John held her at knife point on West Russell Street, demanded money, and sexually assaulted her. The DA's office says despite months of outreach with that victim, when it came time for the trial, she chose to withdraw from the process and could not be reached by their office or PPD after extensive efforts. And less than 2 months ago, on December 2nd, 2025, they had to withdraw the charges, and John was released from prison.
The DNA evidence alone was not enough for us to meet our burden without a survivor coming forward to explain that DNA was not a result of a consensual act.
They're tough cases, especially when you have someone who appears to be targeting and preying on vulnerable people who are out to target and to be predatory like this. They sometimes get away with it for a while. We want to do everything we can right now to make sure this one does not get away with it ever again. And
wow. So could you imagine that he did this over and over and over and until now? So nevertheless, guys, from there, guys, we're gonna go to Jordan B Jordan. As you guys know, there was an award, and everybody feels that he was supposed to get the award. Seems like Michael B. Jordan got robbed of the award, so everybody's out here on his side saying that he got robbed from the award. Okay, they gave it to the a white guy instead. So let's get in there quick
Michael
and
B.
fast.
Jordan not winning the Critics' Choice Award last night was very personal. The fact that Sinners won 4 awards last night should tell you that it has nothing to do with the quality of his acting and everything to do with Michael B. Jordan as an actor himself. I want y'all to keep in mind that Michael B. Jordan has consistently prioritized Black narratives during his career. He is building a legacy built off the backs of prominent Black films. Fruitvale Station, Black Panther, the Creed franchise, and now Sinners. He is using his star power to both fund, produce, and center the Black narrative.
Yep.
He is creating a legacy that exists entirely outside of their validation framework. Do you think that Michael B. Jordan hasn't been asked to be a part of white narratives? Trust me, he has. They are punishing him for not being a pawn in their system to push their narrative. The awards never go to the best actors. The awards goes to those who best serve to push the dominant narrative. And the fact that Michael B. Jordan refuses to do that is why they are punishing him, right? Michael B. Jordan knows why he didn't win that award. He knows that this is a message to him that they will never award him as long as he doesn't play their game.
Yep.
But here's the kicker, though. Here's why they really mad, right? He's proving that their game doesn't matter. That they are playing an old game that is becoming obsolete. Because Michael B. Jordan doesn't need awards to succeed, right? He is proving his greatness through box office numbers, right? Through cultural conversation, through legacy. He doesn't need awards to show his impact. What they really fear is that Michael B. Jordan is becoming the blueprint for Black creators everywhere to succeed outside of their framework. And that is why he's a problem.
And it's crazy. I'm always
All right.
sitting down, but for this video, I gotta stand
So you
up.
guys think that they really snubbed him and you think he deserved the award? And you think it's because of all of that why they snubbed him and never gave him the award? Seriously? But nevertheless, guys, Michael B. Jordan didn't win the award. And a lot of people just believe that they cheated him out of the award. Okay? And all of that. All right? What else? I think I am going to leave. I think I'm going to leave this until another day and come back and give you guys another story or other stuff that I want to talk about. Well, guys, happy Friday. Thank you guys for stopping by. I had one more thing that I wanted to speak to you guys about in regards of an owner crying for a land without being paid. But I think I will talk about this content tomorrow. Like, I have some time and like, I'm going to have a couple of days off work. But nevertheless, guys, like I said, happy Friday. Thank you for stopping by. I know I never came on the same time that I'm supposed to, but girl is busy as always. So just remember, Friday is a day to finish your goals for the week. It is a day to celebrate, okay, that which you set out to accomplish and at the beginning of the week. Well done, okay? So round of applause. Today's Friday. We made it. And either your work week is complete, your school week is complete, and all of those kind of things. But if you're busy like me, no matter the day, you're always outside 7 days a week. Okay, guys? So with peace and love and health and strength. Bye. Until I meet again.